hotels. They can be economical, they can be family friendly, they can be tiny, they can be capsule. But how often do you stay in a hotel that's actually sexy? Today we are going to be taking you to a hotel which I think is the sexiest in all of Scotland, and it's just next to Grassmarket, which is where we are now. It is called House of Gods, and I've wanted to stay there for ages, and a couple of weeks ago I got a stay there from Simon for our 10th year anniversary, because that's the sort of place you go with your significant other, and we're going to be staying in the best room they have. This hotel has a bit of a theme, and the theme is you are a rock star. There's unlimited prosecco and cocktails and food brought right into your very dark and debauchery filled room, and I just cannot wait, because you might not know this about me, but I do have a bit of a rock star history. So yeah, like I'm gonna try and share a picture of me as a rock star. Anyway, today we are staying in that beautiful hotel, and we are taking you with us because we don't know what privacy is. Let's go. So now we made it to our room. This is the suite. This is the only suite they have in this hotel. It is the largest room they have as well. And it is quite hard to get it booked because yeah, they only have one, and it's quite popular because it is the fanciest. We have it combined with one of the special packages. This one is the more expensive one. It's the Locked Up Like I'm Famous, which I essentially am at this point with my 15,000 followers. Thank you guys. Thanks to you, I feel absolutely famous. So this lockup includes a luxury chocolate platter, the balloons, and these fun petals that I can't stop just throwing around like I'm a child. Unlimited prosecco, which you get through the prosecco button. There's like a little, it looks like a little Alexa or something, and there's a prosecco button and a cookies and milk button and a breakfast button, so you can kind of like let people know when you want all of these things. And you can also contact the staff through WhatsApp, so you can tell them like what you want for breakfast and when. Don't worry, we will show you breakfast later. Chimarino's pizza in-room silver service. Yeah, so we're going to be getting that right after we shoot this. We are really hoping that the guy bringing the pizza will not find us here just with this setup, because honestly, in this setting,
porn!
It feels quite adulty to be setting up a professional camera. So yeah, I hope the pizza guy does not witness that. £50 bar tab. So basically you can order a cocktail from this nice little cocktail menu that looks like a glossy magazine. Very nicely produced. There's a bunch of them. They seem to be between like £9 and £12 each, and you get in this package £50 to spend. So you get 4 or 5 of them, and also the unlimited Prosecco and the Midnight Feast milk and cookies, but you can actually get that from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., which I'm glad about, because honestly, when I was reading about this package and like what's included, my first thought was, but I'm not gonna be up at 12. I will miss my cookies. So thankfully that's not gonna be a problem, because I can get the cookies now if I wanted to, but I already ate about 5 of those chocolates and they were very nice. And luxury breakfast hamper with mimosas, yes, and a checkout at 11. Since I arrived here, I just keep, I don't know, it's just such a fun space to be in. I think that this room is, I mean, objectively, I think everyone will agree this room is the best room here. I've heard that some of the smaller rooms do feel quite, well, some people said that they feel quite claustrophobic, so this one is much better than that. It does have this standalone bathtub. It does have a shower room and a bathroom, not together. So, the luxury of showering and going to the loo at one time in 2 people is possible here. So essentially when you arrive, you get a nice, very kind of personal introduction from one of the staff members, and the first thing they do, they ask you what pizza you want, and you can go half and half or just like one whole pizza. Basically, if you're coming here in a couple, you don't have to worry that you will be fighting over which pizza to get. That's a nice touch, but you tell them if you want your pizza at 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that that's basically the stretch of time during which you can have your pizza ordered, and ours is supposed to be here in exactly 10 minutes, and we cannot wait because we had quite a lot of Prosecco, and I think that I need to have some cheese to soak it up now. Let's have a look what the pizza is like. So, that was something, a real experience, and not for the faint of heart or people who have acid reflux, because this was indulgent. Also, I do have acid reflux, so sometimes it was a struggle. I'm an old lady. Anyway, now we're gonna sit down here at our actual house, which is a lot less sexy, as you can tell, and we're gonna have a little review. I took some notes about things I wanted to tell you about if you're deciding on whether or not you want to partake in sexy hoteling. And I'm gonna start by saying that I really loved the attention to detail in these rooms, especially in the larger rooms. I've seen some reviews online where they kind of said ooh, this is all kind of very much just on the surface, and it feels very fake, and you don't go to a place like this expecting it's like Versailles. You can see that it's placed in a fairly newly built building. It's not supposed to feel like an old Edinburgh house. It is kind of like being in a theme park, so keep that in mind. I personally liked the attention to detail. I think it was very well thought through, and there was just so much to keep discovering in our room. Super enjoyed that. Another thing that I very much appreciated was how they collaborate with all these Edinburgh-based food icons. So in our package, we had the dinner from Chivarino's and we had the breakfast from Bros Bagels. Both, I think, are iconic places for, I don't want to say junk food, but
comfort food.
Yes, that's that is a much better term for it. Yes, they are like comfort food institutions of this city. So I think that especially for someone who is staying at House of God, who is not originally from Edinburgh, I think this would be such an amazing way of not having to leave the house, of not having to leave the hotel room, and still getting all of this goodness brought right to you. And also there's a real like personal touch to things, because once you arrive, you get greeted by your concierge, who kind of like talks you through what your package entails and takes you to your room and shows you all the bits and bobs, because some of the bits and some of the bobs are kind of like hidden away a bit, just to kind of keep things within the aesthetic that they're going for with this hotel. So again, like, I think that's super cool, and it made me feel so very special. Obviously for the money, like it's nice. Like it should be the case everywhere for, you know, if you're paying this amount of money for one night stay. But yeah, nice surprise. Now the cocktails I thought were pretty good. Now I am mostly into like weird cocktails. They didn't seem to have that many like really out there ones, if any at all, but they were still very enjoyable. And obviously our package came with like a bar tab, so we kind of had to have some. We did have their espresso martini, which was very tasty, and also like I was so tired because I just came from a trip to Prague, so I had to like load up on the espresso martinis. But I think that for me, I am more of a milk and cookies girl, and we got that milk and cookies about 11 at night, and we ate them. They were warm chocolate chip cookies with some cold milk. I don't think I've had that in a very long time. I mean, I haven't had cow milk in a very long time. Either way, we ate those while watching Frasier on TV on demand, and it was like the sexiest night ever. Anyway, speaking of Frasier, they do have Netflix and Amazon Prime and services like that. The problem is those do rely on internet connection, and I have to say that their internet connection was kind of like okay at night, but then in the morning it was really lacking. I would almost say like it was non-existent, which made us check out earlier than we should have or could have, because in the package you get late checkout at 11, so we, you know, could have had a nice little like lie-in with more Frasier, but we just thought, well, if there's no Frasier, then I guess we just have to go home and use our Wi-Fi for Frasier. To give you some idea about the pricing, the entry-level room, that's the cabin, that's about 150 to 200 depending on, you know, how far in advance you're booking it. I probably would not recommend staying in that one, just because I did walk past a couple of them, and it's called the cabin for a reason. Like, it does. I mean, I guess that if you want the theme of this themed hotel to be like on an old ship, then maybe, because it is very tiny. Like it's the sort of room where the room is the size of the bed, pretty much. So it's kind of hard for me to imagine that you would feel that sort of like luxurious comfort in that room. Then you have the classic, which is a step up from that. I think that one is definitely a good choice. I haven't seen it with my own eyeballs, but on pictures it seems much or considerably larger than the cabin. That one tends to be priced at around 250 to 300 pounds per night. And then you have the suite. And I think with the suite, you really have to either text them to see when they have free days at that particular room, because they only have one, like the whole hotel only has one suite. I guess that's another thing that makes you feel very special when you go for that one. But price-wise, that one is kind of around like 400 pounds. So yeah, when you have 400 pounds per night, and then on top you still have like one of the packages for either 100 or 150. The 100 being the more kind of booze-centric, and then the 150 package, that one is the Locked Me Like I'm Famous, which we did, and that one also includes all of the food stuff. Which I think that I would be mad at Simon if he got just the boozy one, because I'm all about that food.
Still got infinite Prosecco.
Yes, Simon really enjoyed that. So I think that like the second, the more expensive package is great if you're like a mixed couple. Where, you know, one of you loves booze and the other one loves food, because everyone's gonna be happy. So yeah, I guess the bottom line is that overall
I would recommend staying there, especially like as a special night with your loved one, or I can also imagine this would work great with like your best friend, especially if you really like drinking together. I think for that it would be great. The only thing is the beds are not super wide because again the rooms are in general quite smallish, and even in the suite I found the bed to be fairly narrow, so it has to be someone that you feel comfortable kind of cuddling up to. But you know, after you had all that bottomless prosecco, I'm pretty sure you will be cuddling up to pretty much anyone, so so don't worry about that. One thing I would say this hotel is bad for is any sort of like regular hotel stays for when you're actually planning to explore the city, because I feel like that's just a bad use of your money. Like Edinburgh has so much to do and see, and if your main point of being in Edinburgh is to be walking around and exploring, which I guess is most cases, especially if you're like from another country, then perhaps this is not the hotel for you, because well, either you will be too distracted by the coolness and sexiness of your room, or you will be too busy with doing things outside, and then you will not be able to get your money's worth because this is expensive and you're also paying for all that like all-inclusive goodness. I would say that it's not really worth staying there without the packages, because those are like the fun thing. They are like the sort of like theme parky part of the experience. So you kind of have to do them. This is the perfect place to visit if you've been in Edinburgh a couple of times and maybe you want to make one of your nights different, or if you're from Edinburgh, I mean like us, just if you're bored of your own bed and you want to, you know, add some extra something, wink wink, nudge nudge, into your love life, then the House of Gods is the place for you. This is not sponsored or gifted. I genuinely was impressed by this hotel and I've always wanted to stay there. Thank you, Simon, for getting this for our anniversary.
Welcome!
And yeah, I would love to hear from you. If you think this is something you'd like to try, would it be worth the money for you? Would you like to imagine that you're a rock star? Or is there anything that you think they should add to their packages? Is there anything that you think is missing from that whole rock star experience? Yeah, let me know in the comment section. I would love to have I want to say sexy conversation with you, but
nope.
I don't think Simon would let that happen. He's always in the comment section keeping an eye on you. So no sexiness, just friendliness. Okay, don't forget to visit me on Instagram also, under KakiBot and KakiBlog, for my illustrations and for my kind of life in Edinburgh. Yes, also down in the doobly-doo is going to be a link to my Etsy store, which does stock a lot of good Scottish themed goods. Good goods. I am a copywriter. Anywho, that is truly it from me for my little review and experience of House of Gods in Edinburgh, and I shall see you soon. Bye.